So today I'll discuss what has recently been coined the Black Earth Girl, aka the Afro hippie, aka the Black hippie, aka you get the point. The first person I'm going to talk about is India.Arie. India.Arie is famous for writing songs about female empowerment and dismissing the societal standards of beauty. Arie's debut album was named Acoustic Soul, and it was released in 2001 and earned her 7 Grammy nominations. The album was also certified as double platinum by the Music Industry Association of America.
What is your definition of God? The totality of all that is, including me, including you. What is the soul? The real you. You do not have a soul, are a soul, you have a body. What does prayer mean to you? It means that there is always a place I can go to where I know I will be heard. Do you have a personal prayer to fulfill my life's mission?
Next up is Erykah Badu. Erykah Badu is a multi-talented artist known for her unique blend of soul, R&B, and hip-hop music. With her distinctive voice and thought-provoking lyrics, she has made a significant impact on the music industry. Baduism, her debut album, was released in 1997. Jason King described her depiction when she arrived as finger rings of Egyptian power symbols, silver armbands, and colorful wraps and dashikis. On stage, she brings incense, candles, and water in a wooden bowl. Some of its mantras listed on her official website are exist in light, overstand, use your melanin, know your creator, know yourself, love them both. Because the singer's vocals tend to recall the breezy drawl of Billie Holiday, certain critics have attempted to understand Badu's appeal by fashioning her as a quote-unquote Afrocentric Billie Holiday. She is often referred to as the Queen of Neo-Soul. She is charismatic and often very opinionated about topics in the world, whether she is wearing a bald head, big hair, or a turban, drinking tea, or twerking. Erykah is pretty much Erykah.
And I want people to feel good and different about life and things and experiencing the consequences of their choices and judgments, because I want the young women to know, the young queens, the young earths, the young boys, I want them to know that there's another choice. I want to be another example of what positivity can bring. And I want people to feel good and different about life and things and experiencing the consequences of their choices and judgments, because I want the young women to know, the young queens, the young earths, the young boys, I want them to know that there's another choice. I want to be another example of what positivity can bring.
I think a lot of people have lost respect for the individual, the person who doesn't conform, as stated by Erykah Badu. Next up is Lauryn Hill.
My concept of successful living is escaping the matrix, as we talked about. It has very little to do with what people think success is. I actually feel successful right now, even though, I don't have an album out or a video or a song on the radio, because I'm trying to be obedient to his will. I'm trying to be a loving and caring mother, a loving and caring wife to be, a loving and caring daughter, a loving and caring friend, a responsible person. And every day is another opportunity for me to be successful at that. The other stuff, I think it'll come. There are certain gifts that each of us have. The gifts we don't have to worry about so much because God gave them to us. It's the living, it's the life, it's the now. Wisdom without understanding is, what is it? You're so wise, you're so intelligent, but how do you apply that to your life? Is your life in turmoil?
She is an American singer whose soulful voice propelled her to the top of the hip-hop and rhythm and blues charts at the end of the 20th century. Lauryn Hill's sound, often characterized as neo-soul, is bridge hip-hop and mainstream popular music. The miseducation of Lauryn Hill was also notable for its deeply personal lyrics, which address such things as the meaning of self, family, and community. Lauryn Hill, despite her success in the entertainment industry, was committed to advocating for oppressed people and delivering uplifting and thoughtful music. Lauryn Hill wore locks and had dark skin and was naturally beautiful. Though fashionable, she did not adhere to the materialism in popular culture. She says, "I consider myself a crayon. I may not be your favorite color, but one day you'll need me to complete your picture." Next up is SZA.
I want to be a good person so badly, and not in like the idea of what a good person is. I want to be honest enough to create boundaries, healthy boundaries, and be like, I want to be honest enough to say no. That's good person shit.
SZA is an American singer, songwriter whose musical style combines elements of rhythm and blues, hip-hop, and soul. She rose to prominence with her debut studio album, Control, in 2017. Her music often explores themes of heartbreak, sexuality, and self-image. She recalled in a 2023 interview, "I was bullied because I wasn't quiet and I was awkward." Though she is also into the baddie aesthetic, her big wavy hair and utilizing elements of nature in her songs and videos often reflect the Black Earth girl in popular culture. SZA is an acronym of letters and the supreme alphabet, which was created by Clarence 13X, the founder of the 5% Nation. As she explained in a 2018 interview, the S stands for sovereign or self-savior, the Z stands for zigzag zig, which is enlightenment and acknowledgement of oneself, and the A stands for the Most High of all, a reference to Allah. Next up is TK Maidza. She is a Zimbabwean Australian singer-songwriter and rapper. She represents the aesthetic, especially as a non-conforming person. Next up is Willow Smith.
So my first interest in, the lifestyle of just integrity and spirituality and meditation, I was introduced to that at a very young age. My mother had a bunch of beautiful art pieces and books about Hindu gods and goddesses, and I would just sit on the floor of her meditation room and just like look at these beautiful photos and read, about the sentiments of these gods and goddesses. And from a very young age, I was so encapsulated by that and so inspired by that. Fast forward to, me doing all the with my hair stuff and being a pop star and having to realize that that's not the content that I wanted to put out into the world. That's not really the person that I wanted to be.
Willow Smith is an American singer, actress, and dancer. Willow Smith brings about a very hippie earth vibe throughout her music, dress, and just the way she thinks about life. She has been criticized by a multitude of people for being weird. Yet, despite Willow being criticized nearly her whole life, she has stayed true to herself, from cutting off her hair to growing locks, wearing piercings, and being also, in my opinion, an alternative R&B/rock singer. She promotes a plant-based lifestyle and actively raises awareness about the ethical treatment of animals. She has announced being polyamorous at a young age, especially daring to be different and open.
In my friend group, I'm the only polyamorous person and I have the least say.
How did you make this decision?
With polyamory, I feel like the main foundation is the freedom to be able to create a relationship style that works for you. And not just stepping into monogamy because that's what everyone around you says is the right thing to do. Right. The main reasons why monogamous relationships or why marriage, why divorces happen is infidelity.
Yeah.
Let's say you haven't always been the kind of person that wanted to have sex all the time, but your partner is.
Right.
Are you going to be the person to say, just because I don't have these needs, you can't have them?
Next up is Solange.
When I was a young girl, I was searching and searching and searching for a language to articulate who I was and what I felt like inside. And I want to tell the young Black girls who might be watching this out here that I'm still searching and I don't always have it figured out. And there are days that I feel very insecure and I feel like I failed. There are days that I feel so goddamn weird and alone, but I get up and I want you to know that you can and you will too.
From her fashion and hair to her music and lifestyle, the R&B singer is always ahead of the curve and authentically cool. Solange Pia J. Knowles was born June 24, 1986, who performs under the mononym Solange. She is an American recording artist, songwriter, actress, model, and dancer. She is the younger sister of different. From her individuality as a solo star to her natural hair and confidence, Solange is that girl. Black women make me feel invincible. It's the way that we walk, the way we talk, our soul, our sway, our grace, our roots. It's our secret language with one another, the way we uplift each other and our... Next, I'm going to talk about actresses Cicely Sowell, aka Spirit from 101. Her middle name was Spirit Freedom Jones, and she was one of the main characters in the UPN television series 101. She was born to former Black hippies. Spirit is a generally quirky girl. Spirit is the daughter of Liliana and Cooper Jones, two former hippies who ran an incense shop. Spirit was, again, the best friend of Rihanna, and she was often presented as someone who was just herself, and she could be like, to me, in a lot of ways, a Black hippie, also hence her name, but also how she dressed and just did what she wanted to do in life. Next up is Rutina Wesley as Nova Bordelon in Queen Sugar. Nova was a journalist, herbalist, activist, played by Rutina Wesley. Of the three Bordelon siblings, owns Queen Sugar. The first of Nova's roles within the community depicted in the series is that of a healer, as she is shown in the first episode praying over an elderly woman identified as Miss Blanche. Throughout the season, it is revealed that Nova's religious practices are rooted in traditional religions within the African diaspora, signaling her connection to both the people and the rich. The main actress from She's Gotta Have It, which premiered on Netflix, was so big in recent years that a lot of people were nicknaming themselves Nola Darling on social media. Nola Darling was a refreshing character because there are a lot of, but often aren't depicted in media. So she was an activist, artist, free spirit, caring, and basically non-conventional. She was polyamorous in her show, and she had, or it was depicted that she could, and money wasn't the most important thing to her. Mostly she just wants to be an artist and afford. And for a lot of people, again, that was very relatable. Nola Darling struggles to stay true to herself in her dreams while juggling three lovers in the Spike Lee series film. And sometimes people judged her for it, but again, Nola Darling depicted someone who just... Next up is Yaya DaCosta.
If the men find out we can shapeshift, they're going to tell the church.
Was there any time that you were concerned about being your authentic self, however that looked?
Absolutely. I think that in the beginning of my career as an actor, I started out acting at 11, but the world got introduced to me as a model, and that was difficult because it's a place where conformity is necessary. So oftentimes we had to press my hair, and I've always had natural hair, and that was not accepted.
Think a little bit more glamour as opposed to natural.
And so the interesting thing is to have all of these things about myself that I was trying to figure out where I fit in or hide, and then to sit back and watch the world change and evolve, and those things becoming not only acceptable but celebrated and the norm, right? There's a massive natural hair movement, right? I never talked about my spirituality.
My father is a priest in the Yoruba tradition.
It was taboo to have grown up in a home where very ancient customs were the norm. And now people are returning to their roots. And at the end of a prayer, instead of amen, everyone says ashe in certain communities of color. And I'm like, hold on, where'd y'all come from? I've been here all the time. I didn't know it was safe. So I learned to keep it hush. And it's really beautiful for me now to realize not only is it safe to be all of the things, but the world is ready for these offerings that have been really bubbling inside of me.
Brazilian American actress and model. In her personal life, she displays spirituality and look at the blackbird fall into the lake. split white speedboats full of white people loading the atmosphere with gasoline and noise. Now you can't drink the water of the lake. You must drive somewhere else to buy bottles of water to drink. Besides the lake that is 10 miles long, what I need is a change of season, a snowmobile, or a springtime tune that takes me from birth to 55 in 6 seconds. What I need is to adjust to the tree without the blackbird that fell down into the lake. June Jordan. Next up, I'm going to talk about some people who...
I'm an earthy spiritual girl. Of course, I start my mornings with yoga and meditation. I'm an earthy spiritual girl. Of course, I'm gonna wrap my head up when we're about to go around too many people. I don't need all that energy. I'm an earthy spiritual girl, so of course I only shave every leap year. And I guess it's that year. Lucky. And I'm an earthy spiritual girl, so of course I'm gonna abbreviate it to ESG for the rest of this video because abbreviations are so cute. Just like these readings. I'm an ESG, so of course I have books for you to read. What do you want to do? Lunar alchemy? Self-healing? Girl, I love this book. Like, chakras. You can never go wrong with learning about your chakras. Duh, astrology, because we need to know when this next Mercury retrograde is coming up because y'all be tripping when they come up. I'm an ESG. Of course I talk to my plants and they all have names. This is Jill Scott. This is Bambooty. I'm an earthy spiritual girl. Of course I make custom pieces made out of crystals.
Your style, if this is your style, anything like this or like this, ooh la la, I want to put you guys on to one of my favorite pieces. Does this not give Earth Goddess? Hold on, because I know the indoors isn't giving it justice, so 1 second. All right, so now we have a little bit more green. Do you see? Like, oh, okay, yeah, she might just be one with nature. And I'm not trying to sell you anything because I don't even have enough followers to be doing all of that. I just believe when you have pieces that are intentional and just make you feel good, like this makes me feel connected, you just navigate through life a little bit easier. It's easier to feel like that girl. I just wanted to share that. Okay, bye.
Michelle, life is so much harder for people like me, people that don't value money, that don't value or care about materialistic stuff, that aren't superficial. Like, I would rather spend my days outside in the sun gardening with animals, feet in the grass, no shoes, running around smelling flowers. I'd rather be planting my own garden right now than sitting in an office in a chair at a desk. But that's not my reality. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for being able to make a living. But I feel like people like me, we are very unfulfilled with paperwork. We're unfulfilled with corporations and the job and the government and the typing, and extremely unfulfilled. And it can be depressing. If you don't have God, Jesus, it would literally drain you of all the life force inside of you. There are some people that they're built for that. They can do the corporation thing. They can be fake all day. They can sell this. They can go here. They can do this and that. I'm not one of those people. Baby, do you want it or not? No? Okay. Like, I don't even feel right selling people stuff or trying to convince someone to do things that they don't want to do. That I know they can't afford. You know, but I don't know. In all honesty, I feel like life is just a teensy bit harder for those of us who are free spirits. We don't want to do that. We want to run away. We want to fly away like a free bird. We are uncaged people. Pray for the people that they're just not built for this. Pray for those people.
Thinking, anytime you go into an Asian American or just an Asian establishment, you always see them pay homage to their ancestors. Whether you go to the nail salon, whether you go to a restaurant, you will see that they have some sort of ancestral altar set up. And of course, as they should, that is a part of their culture. What I want to know is, why is it that every time us black folk, we do it? Because it is also a practice that's native over in Africa we are descendants, most of us are descendants of. Why is it witchcraft when we do it? Why is it witchcraft when we do it? Why can't we embrace our culture and literally change the way we view death? Because it's very important. I think that we would not have as many struggles with grief and processing it if we were actually allowed to embrace our ancestral heritage. And we need to sit down and have a roundtable discussion about it, because it's unfair to box those of us who want to embrace that culture. Just like it's unfair to box people who want to follow colonized Christianity. We should all be able to practice and do what we want to do, as long as we are doing it from a place of being fully informed, and not pushed into something based off of manipulation of lies. And it should not be shunned or called witchcraft when it's literally native to our culture and our heritage. Because let me tell you something, I'm going to venerate my ancestors all day, every day. And if you don't like it, you can get out of my house. This is their house. At my house, we live here. We commune here. We sit down. We eat together. Yeah.
Welcome to my vlog. We're gonna go into the woods and see what we can find today. This is the trail. I need a stick. Swat, because there be spider webs. Oh, this is cute. And now we're going to leave because let something crawl out of these rocks. A tree fell and I want to go sit on it. That tree. There was a spider on me. I'm getting hot. My edges getting sweated out. Spiders is crawling over me. Think we're gonna call it a day, y'all. Look at the little leaves that like hearts. I see a little trail. So now we're gonna go see what's back here. The trail is still going. Look! It's getting a little scary. I will not wait for danger. It's time to say goodbye to our stick. Bye! Now we have to get up this hill. I'm already out of breath. Hot. That's what I am, hot.
The lyrics of Erykah Badu's Bag Lady are relevant now more than ever. Let's get into it. The first verse starts off with, "Bag lady, you gon' hurt your back. Dragging all those bags like that. I guess nobody ever told you all you must hold on to is you." When I was a little girl, I used to think she was talking about carrying literal bags. But when you think about how someone would look carrying literal bags, but then process it as carrying emotional, spiritual, and mental bags, you can see how it appeared. Dragging all those bags like that got you hunched over. So when people see you, they see you carrying your burdens. They see you carrying your weight. And oftentimes as women, we're carrying the burdens and the weight that don't belong to us. So that's why she says, all you must hold on to is you. So that means be selfish with your energy. You don't have to carry nothing that doesn't belong to you. Release those bags.
Before we talk about any other TV shows, we're going to give flowers to the character of Spirit. Because at the time 101 came out, Spirit was not the kind of black girl that they put on TV. Spirit very much was living up to her name. She was a free-spirited black girl that was carefree. She marched to the beat of her own drum and was her own human being. And she was creative because she made all her own clothes. Spirit would have thrived on TikTok if it existed. Plus, she was a good friend and she showed up for her friends. Consistent, loyal. She would have grown up to be so much better than anybody on Girlfriends. But there was also a false narrative that they put out that people didn't like her. So when they did this little switcheroo, they made it seem like Spirit wasn't there because people didn't want Spirit there. No, the problem is that they thought the presence of two black girls would make people think this is a black show. I get removing Flex and Dwayne if you're trying to tap into a more diverse young audience. But a college-age girl is not a good fit for a college-age show? Are you saying Spirit's presence is bad for business? Two black girls being friends with each other? You can't have a multicultural show with two black girls?
What are the components of the earthy black girl aesthetic that you think people don't get?
I think like what I said, like they just see it as an aesthetic. They don't see it as a lifestyle. So if you just waking up and putting it on because you see some other girl on Instagram that look real cute with her hair like that, it's deeper than that. It's really about balancing your energy, balancing your chakras. Does your outside match your inside?
Something I had to say about this topic. Do you think there was someone or something I should have included? What are your thoughts? Do you consider yourself a black hippie, a black earth girl, an Afro hippie, or free-spirited? Let me know down below. And thank you for listening to Books and Looks TV. I'll see y'all next time.